Seeing as I've got improved swimming and improved exploration. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm saying words. Yeah, since I can get through this area without having to worry about getting pushed around, let's see what else we have left. I'm a little disappointed that the land orca didn't have improved swimming as well. I wonder what the rare seashell is for. I've seen it go by a couple of times, but I don't think I've ever actually found it in my inventory. Okay, well. Hey! Oh, and you can even get koi out here. Okay, so let's do phalanx. Support. Seashells are a quest item. I had no idea. Oh, now I do. It is really wild how much stronger this team is. Like, I knew it was going to be a strong one, comparatively, so I was like, yeah, I'll probably, you know, set this up and see if it works. And, like, theoretically, when I was originally looking at it, it's like, yep, this is going to be pretty strong. And then I tried it in, like, 1 or 2 fights, and it just did not pull. And now that I'm actually using it and have it properly set up, and maybe it was just we needed to be level 30 to really get it to sing. But now that we have, it's like, holy shit. What other combos are there that I haven't even found yet? That's one thing I'm really going to have to sit down and figure out. Hey, there's the Thornish. It's like, what other busted team combos have I not even thought of yet? Okay, Thornish. So, buffer. Whenever a fish monster in your party is hit, there's a 35% chance to apply a stack of bleed. That's okay. Has reflect, which is really good. Has 2 retaliation charge moves. Has poison eater. Has 2 poison glands. It has 2 poison glands. It also has multi-poisoned and poison nerves. And disease control. So, I hate how this guy looks. But he's obscenely good. Like, I think actually this is the best tank in the game that I've seen so far. He's got 20% of his HP back every turn, takes less damage for every debuff on enemies, more or less guaranteed poison on anybody that hits him, has taunts, has protect, has multi-poison, has poison nerves. Every time he takes a hit, he gets 2 charge stacks, and reflects the damage back on enemies. Like, I'm sure that there are downsides to this dude. Lack of versatility is probably one of them. But, yeah, if you want to have a poison tank, this is the dude. And you're right, he pairs really well with the Orca. Because the Orca gives increased crit chance for aquatic monsters and crit damage. Whereas his ability makes it so that anytime you hit a fish monster, they get a stack of bleed, equal to the damage received. I need, like, one other fish. What other fish do we have that's good? The answer is there's, like, precious few. And it has to be a bird. It has to be a fish. It cannot be aquatic. So, Yukan does not count. Which sucks a little bit, because Yukan has really good bleed. There's Brawlish. There's Nautilid. That's a bird. There's Elder Gel. The problem is Elder Gel... Elder Gel's blood magic doesn't really work. It does have deep wounds, which is good. But apart from the fact that it's a fish, it doesn't really work. The main problem is I'd want a fish that can do burning, which is tough. Now that I'm looking at the koi's actually pretty good. Is the orca a fish or a beast? I believe it's both. No, it's an aquatic beast. So they don't actually synergize. Man, that's dumb. Oh, that's just a dark koi. Yeah, so that doesn't actually work. I'm a little disappointed. Because I wanted to do Super Snipper combo. Alas. That makes sense since whales aren't a fish. Yeah, but you're still harshing on my dream, man. Okay. I've already done physical. I haven't done miracle. Okay, I could do Aqua Blast. Actually does a decent amount of damage. Let's see if I can just uber nuke the dodo. And Fire Claws. Yeah, so I don't think the fish combo is exactly going to work. We need to find somebody with multi-burn to really wait. Oh. Okay, there's the monster bell. There we go. Silvero. Haven't seen these guys yet. That is most definitely the evolved form of the Vero. Now, they're weak to Earth, which is awkward. I guess it's not that awkward. We do a little bit of Earth damage, or we can just delete them because they're underleveled. Hey! Because, right, I've been in this room before. Well, that works great for me. Okay, Slime Shot. Let's just hit him. Should just do loads. Well, that Vero just did not stand a chance. And it's gone. Well, that was easy. We get the Vero egg. But we didn't actually get the thing that we need. Alright, it's time for Monster Bell. Gosh, I really need to clear out my inventory a little bit. Absolutely murdered that bird's entire bloodline. I really did. Okay, so let's just do Phalanx. I'm just gonna go aggressive on this one. I don't think we need the, I don't think we need the regen, to be honest with you. I think I can just kill him. There they go. Okay, feather, Pharaoh, egg. No, still not what I'm looking for. Dang. It should drop. Like, unless I'm mistaken, it should drop from these guys. Unless it has to come from the specific champion variant. And only from them. Well, I don't know. I'll give it like 1 or 2 more shots, and then I'll probably just get bored and wander off. Because, to be entirely honest, I don't think I'm ever going to use a Vero. Or a Silvero. Because it's like... Maybe it's just bad first impressions, but they're just weak. Check the monster decks. Nah, that's a good point. Okay, there's the Silvero. Yeah, rare loot. It's that feather. It absolutely does drop the item. It's just... pure RNG whether or not I actually get the thing. Well, I guess I'll keep trying, at least for a little bit. Keep doing slime shot on the Vero. Kills it pretty effectively. Is that an alligator deer? It's like kind of a floofy dragon. Claws. Maybe I should invest in like 1 AoE on one of these guys. Just for cleanup. I wonder would you play Temtem again? Probably. Hey, there it is. Oh, right. I can't just use it here. It's not like a Thunderstone. Well, it's fine. Is Temtem actually done, though? Because part of the reason why I haven't played it is because I'm waiting for it to be done. Because I enjoyed the game, but it was very grindy and very frustrating by the end of it. Yeah, no, it's been a long time since the last content update. And that's probably why I'm not going to play Temtem anytime immediately soon. Because once again, I'm sure it's in a better state than when I first played it. Or played it the second time either. But I just... Pokemon, but harder and grindier, is not actually an advertisement for me that makes me want to play a game. It's absolutely like a, hey, this is going to suck your life away and you're not going to enjoy it. At which point I usually just lose interest and want to go play other things. Let's see, wonder if you heard of the Cyberpunk issues on consoles. Who hasn't? I've been playing it. It's very much like an okay game. I like it, but it's not like I'm rushing out the door to go play more. I did for the first couple days, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty decent. But at this point now, I'm just kind of like, eh. I think a more tactical Pokemon would be great, but not grindier. See, part of the reason why I haven't bring any of this up is, I mean, look at this game. This is admittedly a little bit far removed from what Pokemon is, but this is a much more tactical monster collection game. You know, party composition really matters. How you build your monsters really matters. And so there's absolutely a market for this kind of thing that I absolutely adore. And, you know, want to see more of. But I'm not going to get that from Temtem. Let's see, is there anything up here? No, it doesn't look like it. Just wanted to see if there's anything immediately there. Kind of my response to most open world games, oddly. Binge them for 3 to 4 days and then lose interest. The problem is, every game has a novelty threshold. And once that novelty threshold runs out, then you've hit the grind. And some games, the grind is fun. Like this game, I'd say the novelty threshold gets refreshed every time I find a new monster that I really enjoy. Pokemon XCOM would be so good! To some degree, I think that's what Digimon Survive is kind of supposed to maybe be. but who knows? But okay, another rare seashell. We're good. Yeah, I have no idea how Digimon Survive is going to go. But Monster Collection games, I feel like the weakest point is that many of them are kind of the same. That, you know, here's your monsters, here's your types. This is some kind of rock. There we go. Like, there's only so many difference between different water types or ice types in Pokemon, and the only thing that really changes it is if they have a special move or a special ability, or their dual typing is unique for some reason or another. And so, after a while, like, whenever I play Pokemon, I just don't care anymore. I just pick the one with the best stats, or, like, one big move that I can just whammo through. Man, this place is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Like, considerably so. Hey, here's those weird dragon bird things. Kangamados. And we saw them earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, I wonder when I'm gonna get these. And then they just never showed up again. What are they weak to? Earth. And water. Well, that's not the most useful, but still. I think we need a team battle. 1v1 is boring. That is definitely a big part of it, yeah. But one of the main strengths that this game has, that I feel like most of the other Monster Collection games don't, is every monster really feels unique and has a place in multiple different teams. And because it's team-based, you're constantly looking for a new monster to switch in to fill some gap in a strategy that you might not normally have been able to build for. So I actually have been looking for that poison tank for virtually forever, because I knew there had to be a multi-poison creature with the poison veins and like several of those other poison perks there, and it was just a matter of time until I actually found it. So eventually, yes, I did. Let's see, let's hit this one. And so whenever I find these guys, oh man, Divinity Original Sin 2 / Baldur's Gate 3 Monster Collection is my dream. Yeah, see, that's it. If I could get that, something even remotely in that general vein, with like where positioning matters, movement matters, you have a bunch of different abilities, some of which like a fair bit of CC and so on and so forth, like the possibilities there are truly endless, but we've never gotten to that point because I'm sure it actually would just take too much time and effort to make a game like that. Agamotto, not going to name it anything. I just want to see if it's any good. Okay, so it's got some sound moves. It's got armor break. Weakness causes enemies to have a chance to miss every hit. That's cool. Aerial and reptile monsters deal extra damage. And even more against shielded enemies. Okay. We've seen a couple of reptile auras that would actually be really solid. Has multi-weakness, fair bit of air. Every hit has a chance to do weakness, armor break, as in power. A very solid creature that I think I'm just not terribly interested in. Dragons are both reptile and aerial. Oh yeah, you're right. Aerial, reptile, dragon. So the Kangamato actually could fit in here. We also have the goddamn Glodra that I gotta get the thing for. I think I'm still gonna pass on it. A 4X Monster Collection game. That'd be interesting. I want a Monster Collection Stardew Valley-like. And before everybody jumps on me and says that that's, what's it called? Why can I not brain this one? I have it. Rune Factory. There we go. Rune Factory hasn't had a new game in ages, and the Monster Collection seems kind of like okay. I want to see somebody in the indie scene really tackle that idea. Ooblets. See, my problem with ooblets is that the ooblets themselves were boring. Like, lovely game, absolutely perfect for, like, what I needed at the time. And just a very, like, chill zen thing. But none of the monsters that you found actually helped. They were all just kind of there. They would just do things kind of on your farm, and it's like, oh, cool, here's my ooblet. It's doing weeding, and it's like, okay. And what I want is one where the monsters you find along the way really matter. Also, yeah, ooblets isn't that tactical. I just like the farming, put on a podcast, and sat back. Yeah, and I would love to have effectively ooblets, but where I have to try just a little bit more. Let's see if I can get a channel buff. Maybe I can't. Oh well. RE Legends. I will have to see if that game is good. I heard that they're potentially moving towards a 1.0 soon. Because when that game first came out, it was trash. It was, like, unbelievably non-functional. And is, I think, one of my greatest disappointments. Wonder what about World of Final Fantasy? I'd love a sequel to World of Final Fantasy. Only thing I would say about it is I want a sequel to World of Final Fantasy with a different writer, because the plot of World of Final Fantasy was bad. It was super boring, and it had, like, a weird twist ending that kind of just, like, I felt cheapened the plot a little bit. Okay, so where's some more health? There's some more health. There we go. Draco Gran is just going to be extraordinarily beefy. As he should be. There's so many story problems and no stacking. Yeah, if we could get a... Like, all I would need is effectively Dragon Quest monsters crossed with... Yep, nope, that ain't it. Oh, okay. Dragon Quest monsters, but with World of Final Fantasy's talent tree system, I think would be really solid. Reviews are right track, still bad. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, it's you again. How curious that we meet again and again during our travels, huh? Here of all places, too. This is the highest point in of the Horizon Cliffs. Although the mountains of Snowy Peak are much higher, I think they can't compete with the view you get here. By the way, those bird-like monsters around here are really good flyers. They can fly much higher than any other flying monsters. Personally, I prefer to use my own strength to climb these monsters, though. Or climb these mountains, though. Anyway, I found something new that might be useful to you. Switchstone. The switchstone can be used to change... Yep, we know that. Don't worry, though. I don't need it. I haven't even shifted any monsters yet. Ha! Alright, hope to see you again soon. Rip. I maybe should consider switching it up for these guys at least. I do not do earth damage. I have, like, one dude that does, and that's about it, and it's just a little weak. But I can wreck the Silveros, though. Honestly, something I would think would be interesting would be the inverse of the shop games, where you dungeon crawl, sell stuff in shops, instead of being the person that has to gather the monsters to guard the dungeons. Oh, so effectively Dungeon Keeper, kind of, but like a little bit less... dark? Not that Dungeon Keeper was terribly dark, but still. The Dungeon Keeper plus Monster Gathering. I know that's kind of what Keeper RL was sort of supposed to be, but yeah. I would love to do a Monster Collection game where you have to, like, fill out a dungeon. I want one where the monsters really take a specific role. Kind of in this manner. Or, like, it matters who you choose and who you put where. And, yeah, have a level of depth. Yeah, that's the one thing I always bounce off with a lot of these Monster Collection games, is that they're so thin. From, like, a... Oh. From, like, a design perspective, so many of them are just, like, here's your monster, here's your stats, it has, like, an attack. And you're just like, but that's real boring. And they're like, yeah, but it's Monster Collection. It's like, no. I want to actually care about what my monsters do. I don't just want to see, like, okay, it's a water type, it has this move and this thing. Yes, for so many of them, the Monster Collection is the game, and they forget to build around it. Which, I think a lot of that has something to do with kind of how Game Freak managed to do it, where the Monster Collection really is the game, and that if you want the depth in Pokemon, you really have to go for, like, the hardcore competitive scene, or Nuzlocke or something, which I don't want to say is bad, because I think those are good, but that's a very niche way of playing that I don't think everybody's going to enjoy. Ahoy hoy, what brings you to this remote corner of our sanctuary? A treasure hunt, you say? Well, there's none around here, that much I can tell you. But since you're already here and searching for treasures, maybe you can help me out with my own search. See, I'm a fisherman by trade, but my real passion is collecting rare seashells. I'll give you something special for them, too. Something that can be used by your monsters. But I'm not talking about shells which can be equipped by monsters. These seashells are different, more rare. You can find those rare seashells in hidden, hard-to-reach places all across Horizon Beach. Some might be underwater, some might be up on those cliffs. Bring me 5 of the rare seashells, and you got yourself a deal, right, matey? Oh, okay, so I don't have all 5 of them yet. I am missing 1. It's probably right next to me or, like, over here. Barrier stopping you from proceeding this direction. Seems like we've arrived at the edge of the monster sanctuary. There's a magical barrier here, making sure the sanctuary stays safe from outside interference. Back we go. So I want a sequel to this. I want to know what's beyond the protection. Yeah. I think this game did more than well enough to justify it. The only real question is whether or not the developer wants to work on something else instead. Which, like, you know, if they want to work on a different game, I'm not going to shackle them to this. But holy shit. A sequel with a slightly higher budget and just more of everything. Well, slightly higher budget. Probably considerably higher budget. Would be just so choice. Oh. Okay, there we go. Anyways, this is from a new developer. Not only a new developer, it's, this is like a one-man project. Well, there's the last of the rare seashells. I guess let's go just drop it off. What was the issue over here? Oh, right. I need to go... Let's see. I need to get the slide mode. Yeah, I didn't know it was a solo title. Yup. And it's an incredibly good one. It might have brought more people on after the Kickstarter, but I don't know. Alright. Thank you very much for those, matey. Won't be needing this anymore. Fishing rod. Treat her well, you hear me? She's done me a great service over the years. Fishing rod. Isn't it a piece of equipment? It is. Non-damaging actions apply 1 random buff. Okay. Mostly he paid for the music and the sprite work. Which I think is perfectly fine. I would still consider that, you know, solo development. met a couple of purists, but in the past they were like, no, I have to do everything by myself. I went to college with one of those guys and was trying to get him to, like, do, make games with me. Because he was a really brilliant programmer, but the guy could not handle working with anybody else. All he would do is lock himself in his room and work. And it was fine for his own, like, his own work. But it was super terrible to, like, do game jams with him, for example. Oh. I got it. I have to be a master programmer, artist, and musician. It's pretty much just Eric Barone. There's a couple developers that kind of hit that capability, but they're few and far between. And, like, it just kind of sucks after a certain point being that isolated. But he was so, sorry, this friend, he was actually one of my roommates. This friend of mine was so, like, vehement that you had to do everything on your own, that, like, he actually was looking down on other developers. Ah. Let's see. Lightning Sphere. Who is that for? Anyway, looking down on other developers that, you know, didn't share his, like, almost ridiculous requirements. Let's go over here. Yeah, yikes. The interesting thing is, he now works. I know he worked on Rune 2. I don't know if he worked on anything else. So clearly it didn't actually work out for him. Which is a bit of a shame, because I was actually really hoping that, like, he would put his effort where his ethics were. And actually, you know, go full on, you know, I'm going to be the indie developer. But I wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't get kind of crushed by the industry. Let's see. Ah, that's what this is. Or, you know, just lack of funding. Who knows? Whoa, what the hell are these things? They're new. They're trolls. Alright, well, I can dunk on them. And nothing wrong with working with a team. That's how you cover weaknesses. Exactly. And this guy's specific weakness was he was a terrible artist and musician. He could program like crazy. It could have had a mental breakdown. You know, honestly, with the college we went to, I wouldn't be terribly surprised by that. I knew a lot of guys that were absolutely brilliant, but just something about the workload broke them. And that doesn't surprise me that much. That, like, indie gaming, or game development, but especially indie game development, like, is tough. That's not necessarily for the weak-hearted. Faint-hearted, there we go. And so, yeah, I honestly would not be surprised if he didn't get to the... Not get to the point where he probably maybe made a couple of games here and there, or... I don't know. I'd have to talk to him again, but still. Alright, Master Tamer. Wait, no! Excuse me, I don't want a glowfly egg. I want a troll egg. Dang, game's screwing with me. Yeah. Even good games may not have customers. That is always something that bothers me about the industry a little bit. That game development is so saturated at this point, there are certain games that will just honestly... There are certain games that never got the audience they deserve, and never will, because Oh, did I start with the glory buff? I probably did. Yep, I have, like, no might on. Whatever, it's fine. I'm doing this wrong. But this fight is so easy that I kind of don't need to care. Okay, well, nope, he dead anyway. Bam! It always pisses me off when I see, like, clearly YouTube bait games that just, like, no one really probably fully enjoys. Hey, come back! Bring me the troll! I don't light the room up myself. Where am I even going? There we go. Monster Bell. I think I'm getting distracted. Due to lack of food. You will give me a troll. Eventually, somehow. There we go. There it goes. I appreciate you bringing some of the indie to others. Yep. And I hope to continue to do that. That, like, I don't want to be the end-all, be-all for video game marketing, because I feel like that's super dangerous. But I will always be trying my hardest to, like, spread the word as much as possible for, yeah, the indie games that actually really do deserve people's attention. Or Goat Simulator. At least there's merit to Goat Simulator. There's the troll egg. No, what was I thinking? Oh, frickin' Craftopia. I know Trogdor is a dragon. But that's fine. That's what I should have named Sky Noodle. Yeah, Craftopia absolutely did not enjoy that game in the slightest. Holy shit. Hold up. You know how I was saying earlier that the pufferfish was amazing? This guy is crazy. Never actually named Draco Gran. Oh, I didn't. Armor break on enemies increases chances to apply debuffs on all of them. Apply armor break on an enemy at the start of combat. Has Poison Eater. Death Blow, increased damage for every debuff on the target. Has 2 Giant's Bane. Has Dominance. Has multi-armor break. Has Thick Skin. Takes 10% more damage from the element it's weak to. But everything else is reduced by 20%. It's only weak to fire. Has Recover. Has Poison Glands. Has Multi-Poison. Has Cave Dweller. Heal all beast and occult monsters in the party by 10% of their own max health at the start of every turn. But even beyond that, it has Hex Touch, which we really liked the look of. It's got Taunt. It's got healing moves. It's got a nice multi-hit. It's got Hex. Disease Control. Armor Shred. Is it an occult beast? Okay, I gotta investigate some more here. Let's pop these open. Okay, Shift Stone. What does this guy have? Supremacy and Shadow Force, but Trogdor. Light Instinct, which decreases damage taken more, or Curse Chain, which, whenever it applies a debuff to an enemy, spreads that to another enemy. That's okay. That's the weak point on him. Okay, next up, Monster Journal. Where's the troll? There it is, at the bottom. It is an occult beast. So it works really well in an occult team, too. Alright! Equipment. Thornish. Unequip everything. Orb. Unequip everything. Shamu, get out of here. Alright, team. Tank. Support. Okay. Here's the other question. Who is better? Because Troid has age stack bonuses, but also whenever an occult or mage monster hits an enemy, 40% chance to inflict bleed stack. Like, that's really good. Hans, on the other hand, Hans has the buff stripping. I think Hans actually is the one that I'd consider skipping out on. What about Craftopia? It's just a bad game. It's legitimately, like, not a good product. And it has thousands of positive reviews, and it's just like, there's no justice here. The other problem is we've got this guy, who doesn't do multi-poison, but works really well with poison. I don't know. I think we need to hold off before I think about the occult team. I don't think we're there yet.